Welcome to the Freedom Camp Podcast, rooted in truth, growing in freedom, and built on the belief that you weren't meant to grow alone. Each week, I'll share honest stories, insights, and simple questions to help you explore the unseen things that keep you from living in the freedom that's already yours. And take brave, intentional steps toward the life you were made for. This is your space to reconnect with your authentic self and grow in freedom on purpose. Lately, I've been noticing emotions everywhere, in myself, my family, and especially in the world around us. Have you ever had a day where an emotion completely wiped you out, and then on another day, that same emotion seems to give you life? Like sadness can feel crushing in one season, but strangely freeing in another. That's because emotions are energy. They don't just live in our minds. They fuel us, they drain us, or they steady us. In today's episode, we're going to explore how emotions affect our body and our mind, not as good or bad, but simply as energy. Some emotions drain, some are neutral, some are energizing. And the same emotion can shift depending on the season that you're in. By the end of this conversation, you'll have a framework to map your emotions. You'll reflect on how you actually want to feel in the next 4 months, and you'll decide how to engage with those feelings in a way that brings you more freedom. Because when we understand our emotions as energy, we stop fighting them or labeling them, and instead, we learn to work with them. And that awareness leads to freedom. So this all started a week or so ago when my aura ring was letting me know that my body was experiencing a lot of stress. And the connection was in seeing how this stress impacts my cortisol levels. It impacts my HRV. It impacts my focus. It impacts how rested I feel or don't feel, even if I spend, 7 hours sleeping, and on and on. We all know what stress feels like. The point is, I realized that while I was saying the right thing, that I feel stressed, what my body was experiencing, what I was kind of subconsciously saying is, I am stress. Like I'm the walking embodiment of stress. And that led me to think about emotions as energy, that some of them are draining, some of them are like neutral or grounding, and then some of them are really energizing. So for some examples for me in this moment, draining emotions, anxiety, shame, and overwhelm. Some grounding emotions, peace, calm, and contentment. And then some energizing emotions, joy, love, and anger. And the key about this whole concept of emotion as energy is typically I would think draining is bad and energizing is good. It's not about good or bad. It's not about judging it in any way. It's observing energetically what it's doing within your body and to your body. There's this continuum that I notice with this. And that continuum is, for example, if you are just like good, you're fine, you're happy, and then something happens and you feel sad, that sadness can be a pull. It can be draining on your energy. Conversely, if you are in the throes of a of being dysregulated, or in grief or depression, and you're like numb, sadness could actually be energizing because now you're feeling something. It's like, oh, I can do something with this. Also thinking about anger. And this is even within, like, anger for me, I think, is pretty much always energizing, I want to say. But there's like the destructive anger, like, I'm going to tell you what's what. And then there's also the anger that propels um, standing up, doing the right thing, justice, fight for the people, that whole kind of a thing. So anger, while still energizing, there can be like, well, like many things, it can be used for good or it could be used for harm. And then the last one is like calm. So being calm is, I think, well, I don't know what I was going to say. I think it's typically a neutral, a grounding emotion. Like, I'm calm, I'm grounded, I'm good. But then I stopped myself because if you're in like a Psalm 46 uh, time, if it's a storm, if it's like the emotional climate of our world right now, um, being calm with all the chaos going around us, with all the strong emotions and everything, being calm in the midst of that is actually energizing. It's taking um it's taking this like potential energy and making it kinetic, if that makes sense. It's putting something to work in your body, and it's an energizing emotion. So again, just to like kind of connect it, it's not about the word as much as it is about how do you feel? How do you feel in your body? Say happy is the word. What are you thinking when you're happy? What are you feeling physically when you're happy? What are you feeling in your soul? What are you feeling emotionally? And what's your spirit feeling like? Or what is it like when you are experiencing the emotion of happiness? One of the things we did in Freedom Camp last week was we actually um, took an emotion and we described it without using the word of for whatever the emotion was. So say for example, you want to feel cozy. Is that even an emotion? I don't know. I know what it means. Warm. If you want to feel warm and fuzzy and good and secure, describe what that feels like without using any of those words. And that was an exercise to help us go deeper into what we're actually experiencing, to help us get out of our head. Because back to the beginning, saying, I know the right thing to say, I know the right thing to think is, I am feeling X way, not that I am the physical embodiment of X way. But I don't think I was processing it deep enough. I don't think I was really digging in to what that what that stress felt like so that I could process it through me and on out the other side. It was still getting caught in my body. So I do want to give you a few questions to apply this, to reflect and use this in your own life. So the first question is to look at the next 4 months with the holidays coming, with schedule changes because of all of the holidays and all of the things, as well as potentially schedule changes because of the time change. It's getting dark earlier. the cold coming. If you deal with SAD, seasonal affective disorder, like millions of people do, that's a whole other emotional load for you to be carrying. There's sugar everywhere. Um, there's potentially contentious, challenging family get-togethers for the holidays, and the expectations of others, all these different things that can end up playing a part, playing a role in how you are, um, on how you're feeling. And ultimately, what we want to do is we want to choose, how do we want to feel with all these things kind of happening to us? Then the next question is that feeling energizing? Is it neutral, or is it draining for right now? And then if it is energizing, how can you build on it? If it is neutral, um, how, or if it's just like steady, how can you like get a spark in it if you need to? Or do you not need to? Is it like Psalm 46 and you need to bring it down? And then if it's draining, what support or practices could potentially help shift it? An example for this one, in Freedom Camp, one of the women was saying she wants to feel love. She wants to love. She wants to feel love. And she recognizes that her pattern is often to not over love, but to overextend herself in giving to others. And that ends up being draining. So she like equates that pattern of overgiving with love. So then love feels draining. So then it became, okay, well, what can you do to set yourself up for success so that you can feel love in this next season and not feel drained? So then it became, oh, take care of myself, which really meant give myself time to receive the love of God, and from that outpouring, share with others, love on them. That way, it's energizing, it's not draining, and it's still accomplishing that choosing of an emotion that you want to feel, and then creating the thoughts and the actions so that you can experience that emotion. So my encouragement for you in this next week is to pause, to ask yourself, how do you want to feel in this next season? Notice if it's energizing, neutral, or draining. And then depending on the answer, what do you want to do with that? As we honor our emotions as energy, we cooperate with them. We allow them. We gain freedom through the allowing process. Freedom to notice, freedom to choose, and freedom to create the emotions regardless of the season that we're in. That's the other key. We can't control what other people think or say or do. We can't control maybe the expectations on us, but we can control how we want to feel regardless of those things. So my hope is that this is a time where you choose emotions for yourself, that you then create those emotions. You set the things in motion to create those emotions, and that you find yourself living in greater freedom in every area of your life. As usual, I would always love and welcome your comments. Curious what moved you, where you may have a question. What emotion do you want to feel in this next season? And as always, thanks again for listening. Thanks for listening to the Freedom Camp podcast, where we believe freedom is nurtured from within and grows when you tend to it. If this stirred something in you,
Let it take root this week and see what grows. And if you enjoyed this or found it meaningful, please give the gift of a review, share it with a friend, and leave a comment below. It helps us build this podcast community because we weren't meant to grow alone.